In this video, you will see how easy it is to control an Arduino from distance using an RC transmitter. This exercise, I'm using a 6-channel Dumbo RC transmitter and receiver. I've got the first 3 channels here going to Arduino's pins 4, 5, and 6. You'll also note that in the middle section here, I've got the 5 volts from the Arduino coming to the middle section, and the black wire here on the right is going to ground on the Arduino. And that's all it is to set up a receiver. For this setup, the steering wheel is channel 1, the throttle trigger is channel 2, and this button here on the side is channel 3. Today I've prepared 3 simple codes that will show you just how easy it is to receive signals from an RC transmitter. Now, these transmitters work by providing a pulse, which has a varying duration between 1000 and 2000 milliseconds. As I mentioned before, I connected RC receiver channels 1, 2, and 3 with pins 4, 5, and 6 on the Arduino, and those will give us values for our wheel, throttle, and button states. Here in the setup loop, we will start our serial monitor and declare those pins as inputs. And then down here in the main loop, we will achieve our values using this pulse in command, which will measure the pulse width of each of those input channels. Then we will simply display all the values in the serial monitor and do that once every second. All right, so you'll note as I power up the Arduino, the RC receiver comes to life as well. Let's upload this code and then open the serial monitor. And we can see our values coming in. Right now they are all 0 because I don't have my transmitter turned on. So once I turn this on, we start getting values. Okay, so for throttle and wheel, we're both seeing values right in the middle at 1500. And for button, we're seeing a number below 1000 actually. So if I twist the wheel, for example, all the way one direction, you see it goes up to 2000. If I go back the other way, it drops to 1000. Same with the throttle. If I pull it all the way towards me, it goes to 2000. If I push it all the way, it drops to 1000. And then the button's just going to be an on and off. So when I push the button, it goes from 860 all the way up to over 2000. This next code, we are just going to use channel 3, which corresponds to the push button on the side of the transmitter. Channel 3 of the receiver is still connected to pin 6 on the Arduino, but we've added this relay here, which is connected to Arduino pin 8. So of course, the pin for the receiver will be an input, the pin for the relay will be an output, and then we will simply check the value of the channel 3 using our pulse in command again. And remember, when it was low, it was around 860. When it was high, it was about 2000, a little higher than 2000. So I picked a number just here in the middle. So if the button is greater than 1500, we're going to turn the light on. Otherwise, we will turn the light off. So let me go ahead and upload this. All right, so now if I push the button on the transmitter, the light comes on, and then I push it again, and it goes back out. Pretty easy. So if you think back to lesson 1 where we talked about relays, think of all the things you could control from a distance with the simple push of a button. All right, for this third code, we're going to bring back our stepper motor that we used in lesson 12, but this time we're going to control it with our RC transmitter using the trigger. This code will use a lot of the code from lesson 12, so if you can't remember how to connect the stepper motor, please refer back to that lesson. In this code, RC channel 2 is our throttle position, and that is connected to pin 5 of the Arduino. We're going to initialize the throttle to 1500 microseconds, and you'll see why in just a second. So we have our delay time from the code before, step pin, which is 2, or direction pin 3 on the Arduino. And we're going to add a little thing because it takes a little bit of time to read the position of the RC receiver. We don't want to be doing it all the time. We just want to take an occasional glimpse at it. So we're going to keep track of when we checked the RC receiver last. and we're going to check it again 3 times a second, or every 333 milliseconds. Here in the setup loop, our RC pin will be an input, the step and direction pins will both be outputs, and we'll initialize our last check of the RC transmitter using the command millis, which will give us the current time in milliseconds. All right, down here in the void loop, we have an if statement. If millis, which is the current time, is greater than the last time checked plus the 1/3 of a second interval that we've set, then we are going to check the signal from the RC receiver and then update our last check time. This will allow us to only take readings every 1/3 of a second or 3 times a second. Now, as we discussed earlier, the throttle signal from our RC receiver is going to be somewhere in between 1,000 microseconds and 2,000 microseconds, with 1,500 approximately being the middle position. You'll see with this code here that if the throttle is close to the center, we want to ignore it. So we're only going to look at it when the throttle is greater than 1,600 or if it's less than 1,400. If it's in between 1,600 and 1,400, we're not going to move the motor. Let's start with the condition where we're squeezing the trigger and we expect that trigger value to be greater than 1,600 microseconds. We're going to, depending on the position of our finger, adjust how fast the motor spins. So we have this map function that will set our delay time between 10 milliseconds and 1 millisecond. So the lower the number, the faster the motor will go. So when we are greater than 1,600, we're also going to set our direction pin to be low, and then we will pulse our stepper motor using the delay time that we just calculated above. So the higher we squeeze the trigger, the faster it should go. Now, if we're pushing the trigger away from us, we expect the throttle value to be less than 1,400. We expect it to be between 1,400 and 1,000. So we're going to have that same map function, just opposite with 10 and 1 again. But this time, if we are pushing the trigger away from us, we're going to put our direction pin high and then repeat the same pulse. So let's give this thing an upload and see how it works. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze the trigger just a little bit. It should start moving slowly. If I squeeze a little bit harder, it moves quicker. And if I squeeze it all the way, it should be maximum speed. And then same going in the other direction. If I push it away, it should go the opposite direction slowly. And the harder I push, the faster it goes. So it looks like it's working great. Well, that's it for lesson 13, but in 14, we are going to continue with our RC transmitter here. We're going to bring back our linear actuator, and we're going to have it match the exact position of the steering wheel on the transmitter. So it'll be very useful and a lot of fun. See you then.